Okay, so we're going to go over the Unit 1 multiple choice questions for Part A. I'm going to go over the most missed. Next to each question shows how many students got this wrong. All right, so number 1, 15 of you guys got it wrong, so let's take a look. Okay, so this was a calculator question. We wanted to know if or how many values, positive values of b, does the limit of f of x as x approaches b equal 6. So one thing we know is that f of x is continuous. So that would mean if the limit of f of x as x approaches b, that has to equal f of b, which is 6. Okay, so what we can do is we can just use our calculator and let y1 be f of x, or f of b in this case, and y2 equals 6. The key here, if you don't zoom in around x equals 1 and y equals 6, it's going to look like the graph just touches that line y equals 6, it's tangent to it, but if you zoom in, you'll see that it crosses 2 times at around that area. All right, so the correct answer here is, in fact, C. The next question would be number 12, where 23 people got this wrong. All right, so the question really comes down to, is this function continuous? Okay, we're just given a table of values. Okay, we don't know if it's continuous or not. All right, it has no indication saying that. So we don't know much to say other than there's not enough information to conclude that this limit of f of x as x approaches 2 equals 3. We know f of 2 equals 3, but we don't know that the limit does. All right. Same goes for the second part. We don't know that the limit of f of x as x approaches 2 equals 8. Okay. Just because if you're looking at left-hand and right-hand limits there, we don't know that it doesn't exist. Again, we don't know if it's continuous or not, so there's not enough information to be determined from the data in the table. So the answer there is D. Next would be number 16, where 16 of us got it wrong. So if f is the function defined by f of x equals x minus 4 over the square root of x minus 2, then the limit of f of x as x goes to 4 is equivalent to which of the following? So this is just going back to some algebra skills and simplifying the fact that get those radicals out of the denominator. So multiply both sides, numerator and denominator by that conjugate. And when we do, the x minus 4s are going to cancel, and we're going to be left with our answer here. So B is our correct answer. Next up was number 17, where 17 of us got it wrong. All right, so we just needed to figure out what the limit of that function was as x goes to 0. Okay, so if you use direct substitution, we have a 0 over 0 scenario, which would allow us to use L'Hopital's. Okay, so when we do apply L'Hopital, we're down to this limit here, which now we can use direct substitution because it doesn't produce infinity over infinity or 0 over 0. So when we do, we get 18 over 6, which is 3. So C is the correct answer there. Finally, number 18 was one of the most missed with 11 wrong. All right, so again, this just came down to simplifying, just like number 17. So all we needed to do here was simplify f of x. So instead of sine squared of x, we just substitute 1 minus cosine squared. We factor that. And what we notice is cosine of x minus 1 and 1 minus cosine of x, that goes to -1. And we get our final answer here of A. So don't forget about those algebra skills, okay? Those are coming in handy, and those seem to be the ones we got wrong. So take your time on those, guys. You're certainly capable.